Well, the market is nuking hard. This is pretty much what I've been like all day. I think for those of you who have been living under a rock, just go and check your portfolio. But this is pretty much what it feels like right now. Everything is on fire. And I think you can go no further than looking at the Bitcoin chart just to see what happened literally an hour ago. Bitcoin nuked all the way down to 61,000. And I mean, perhaps on the 1 minute chart, this will be a lot more clearer. But yeah, look at this damage that we had just now. Not literally just not even that long ago. And since then, the market has been rebounding quite nicely. You can see the portfolio overall. I mean, if Bitcoin goes down, alts go down even more. My portfolio has been absolutely nuked to bits. Just look at the last 24 hours, minus 6% on ETH looks pretty good actually. But like minus 35% on Gearbox, 22% on Shadow, minus 30% on ATA, like 30% on SNS, like really bad. And I mean, if we look at the 7-day, we're like 50% down on some of this stuff, which is absolutely insane. Markets absolutely nuked it, and you can see like it's rebounding a little bit now, but I mean we don't really know exactly what's going to happen just yet. So this is something that I have actually been talking about in recent videos. I did actually talk about the potential for Bitcoin to really go and touch this previous support, you could say. Whilst we didn't go all the way down to 59k, we did actually hit this previous wick, or like get very close to it. So look, if you're asking me whether or not it's worth buying the dip, I think these prices are more than good enough for you if you want to accumulate. If you haven't got exposure, if you're on the sidelines, the prices that we have today, we haven't seen for 3 months, 4 months. We've basically wiped out the entirety of gains in Q1. Obviously not for everything, but for many alts. Many alts are 50% down, some even more, some of course a little bit less. I mean, if you're not interested at those prices, especially if you manage to catch this wick, I mean, props to you. Well done if you did. But if you're not interested then I don't know when you're ever going to be interested in crypto. So, I mean, so far, the reaction from Bitcoin's been very strong. And so I do think alts will follow. And we're seeing that right now. If you just look at the hourly chart, I mean, look, you can see some of my alts are now like 12-15% up on the hour, which is good to see. But I mean, that doesn't go away from the fact that we are still down quite a lot. Like in the last 24 hours, like 15%. In the last 1 week, probably can't catch it exactly, but we were almost at $50,000 like 2 days ago. 2 days ago, we were almost at $50,000, and now we're down. What is that, like to 30%, if not a little bit more? And I guess that's evident looking at the alt positions right now. But not to worry. These things are normal. These things happen in bull markets. We've seen this time and time again last cycle. I remember seeing my alts going down 80% at one point in time, before going up 10x from that point onward. So look, I'm not too worried at the moment. I think things are going to be absolutely fine. One of the great things that I have seen actually is GCR, probably the greatest trader that we've ever seen, probably one of the most famous names in crypto today. After a 1-year hiatus, he's back on crypto Twitter, and he's even said, if you've been sidelined, believe this is a good opportunity to scale into high conviction tokens. If you're fully invested, just survive, hold your spot positions, and do not capitulate. And I think that's really important. We've been in this position time and time again in the past. Hold your spot positions, don't capitulate, because the good times are going to come back. And he says, someone once said, liquidations are a forced transfer of wealth from traders who need leverage to wealthy spot buyers. And hopefully we are the latter. Hopefully we are the wealthy spot buyers. And so, look, GCR says he was enjoying retirement from social media, but he doesn't want to see brothers getting shaken out when the future is still so bright. We have had so many bullish catalysts still with the likes of the Bitcoin ETF. We now have Larry Fink pushing for ETH. Things in crypto are so much more advanced. We have much more innovative protocols. I think things are generally going to be okay. Now, right now, of course, things aren't particularly great. Gas fees have spiked on ETH mainnet, and so this is why I think it's always good to have a few funds on perhaps some layer twos or some alt EVMs, etc. So you can at least go and buy the dip if you wanted to. I mean, I think I'm probably not touching my ETH positions at the moment, but that's okay because, as GCR said, survive, hold your spot positions. You don't need to do too much. So, have I bought the dip? Yes, I have. I did actually add say. I added some say. Unfortunately, I did actually add it just before we had this dip, but it's okay. I think it's still significantly cheaper than what prices were even 3 days ago. I also added ATA, just another small position. And I think I will also be adding some shadow as well. So those are the three positions I think at the moment I'd like to add. These are strong core positions in my portfolio. Yes, I have been looking at scalp trading a little bit. I have done a little bit, but I'm not going to include that in the portfolio today. This is obviously just the long-term HODL portfolio that we're eventually going to get to $100,000. So we need to do another 3x in the portfolio. I'm very confident that we will eventually do that. I don't think that's too impossible or too difficult to achieve. I'm pretty confident we will do that. So yeah, like I said, nothing really much to do. If you're fully exposed into the market, just embrace it, hold out, don't capitulate, because if you've got high quality altcoins, good times are going to come and your positions will absolutely send it again. If you are someone who is sidelined, as GCR says, and I completely agree with this, this is a good opportunity to scale into high conviction tokens. So the question is, like, what should you buy? You should buy AI tokens, you should buy DeepIn tokens, you should buy real world asset tokens, gaming tokens, alt layer 1 tokens, and probably modular tokens, and maybe Bitcoin or Bitcoin ecosystem tokens. Buy something from those 7 sectors. You could argue something to do with eigenlayer and restaking. So 8 sectors in total. Get exposure to those 8 if you haven't already. Find out what it is you're strong at, and I think generally you can build your portfolio with that. But you should be following along. This is like episode 38 or 39, perhaps even more than that. I can't even remember off the top of my head. Either way, you should have a really good idea. You should have done your research already of what it is you want to buy. Now it's just the case of pushing those buttons and confirming those positions. So yeah, the market's rebounding. Look, the portfolio keeps going up now every time I refresh, which is good to see. But yeah, we have actually nuked a lot. Let's see what happens. I'm going to keep a very, very close eye on what Bitcoin does. Look at it. It's really, really tantalizingly close to the April 21 high. I'm also going to be keeping an eye on the news and seeing what's happening there. But like I said, there's nothing really for me to change. I'm just chilling on my chair and just going to wait it out. So smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and we'll be back with plenty more content in the near future.